What's going on, dude?
Brother, it is round two. How you feeling, Dizzle?
I'm feeling good, man. It's a good day. Good day to be alive.
I don't even know if we've actually told the people, but just so you guys know, from the dawn of time since Brian and I became best friends, his name to me is B Dizzle, but I call him Dizzle for short.
You want to get the origin story of that?
Dude, it's been a long time since I've even thought of the origins. You're just
I know.
Dizzle, you know?
I know. I think we were just like making up rap names.
I think mine was Thuggy D. But to be
Yeah.
honest, man, I just cheated. I took that from Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory because he called himself Thuggy D. And
Oh,
I
did
tried to
you?
act like it was my idea, but it was never my idea.
I don't even know. Like, did you came up with B Dizzle, didn't you?
Definitely came up with B Dizzle. It was easy.
Yeah,
Just B and add Dizzle.
Dizzle. Yeah, it flowed, and it's still to this day.
And dude, you owned that moment, right? Like once you were B Dizzle, like you were hype on it. You know,
Yeah, I mean, it's a good one.
we have so many legendary pictures people
Yeah,
need to see down the road.
yeah, yeah. They're great. They're great.
I think I even have a couple of you just absolutely knocked out and I could just make like a put up the photo and it just says B Dizzle and it's you knocked out. It just gets me hyped.
Sleep knocked on my tail.
But bro, today is exciting. So for everybody that's listening to this right now or watching, Brian is actually going to be sharing a lot about himself, you know, who Brian is, more of his story, you know, how you guys have heard our first podcast, but really, unless you're like our friends that are listening locally, you wouldn't know a lot about us until we do our origin story. So today it is all about B Dizzle.
B Dizzle, yeah, yeah. I'm excited though. I'm excited. I'm excited for these questions, guys. I have no idea what he's about to tell me, so you're gonna get raw reactions from me.
He does not know a thing. So, Brian, the question for you is, do you want me to start with the questions or do you want to kind of share a little bit of a bio about yourself and then ask questions? It's totally up to you.
Man, I mean, nah, shoot me a question. Let's see.
Shoot you a question?
Give me-
All right, we're going to start with early life and background. So, what was your childhood like and were there any early moments that shaped the way you see the world today?
Early moments. So originally, guys, I'm from Pennsylvania originally. I was born in Allentown area, so about an hour away from Philly. My childhood was interesting, not in a bad way. You know, some things were, you know, just a lot of dynamics. So basically, my parents wanted to move to Virginia, where I'm, basically grew up mostly, for a long time, and we were kind of in a process a lot of just kind of figuring out like how we're gonna do it, when's the right timing, and all that. Um, and it took one until about when I was 11. So, yeah, it just it definitely there were some things like in Pennsylvania that were a little eye opening. Little things that I definitely knew like, hey, I'm gonna avoid a lot of those. Not gonna say too much, but it just at the end of the day, it's just it's definitely there was things that I would see, sometimes through other people, not my family, but like other things that it wasn't exactly the best situation and lifestyle that my family wanted me and my brother to have. So we packed up and in like sixth grade, I moved on to Virginia. But yeah,
Dude, and I think we would have been 7th grade when we met, right?
yeah, yeah. But like going on like kind of like the impact, like I think the biggest thing it impacted me on was, okay, I see what this can take you and that can take you if you do X, Y, and Z. And I didn't want to cross that line. I really respect my parents for like kind of putting me in a better situation, just kind of like because they grew up there all their lives. I mean, they knew nothing else but PA. So that takes a lot of grit. Going down to a whole new place, whole new type of culture. I mean, Virginia is kind of like a mix, right? Like I would say like northern, like from Charlottesville on, it's kind of more of a northern kind of style, but like from Lynchburg, it's pretty southern. So that was definitely like a culture shock a little bit. And for them too, like I mean, I was young, so it didn't bother me too much, but I'm sure for a lot of adjustment period for them, like when you're, an adult trying to readjust, you gotta scope out like do's and don'ts and areas, but they picked a pretty safe place. I mean, Lynchburg it's not a bad place at all. It's great to raise a family and everything. Not it's not too big, probably what 100,000 give or take, right, Hunter?
I think when the students are here, we might be closer to
Yeah, it might be.
200,000,
Yeah,
but
you got
normally
Liberty
100.
there. Yeah, yeah. It's a little bit more packed, but give or take, it's got a little bit of everything. It's nice. Definitely want to raise a family. It's definitely a good spot, and I think that definitely impact my life for the good. Just going into like life and not being in distractions and problematic situations that I could have been more so. Again, everyone has their own situation, own decision making that they can make out of themselves, but your environment's everything.
Absolutely, bro. So my next question for you, was there a defining moment growing up when you realized life wasn't going to hand you anything?
Life had me anything. Oh yeah, okay. I got a good one. So with football, like I played football most of my life, as you know. I was like in high school, like I would say definitely like freshman, sophomore. I was always like I would say I was good, but I was always undersized and it would frustrate me. And those type of moments where I was like, okay, I actually have to work 10 times harder than somebody else who might be a little bit more bigger than me or anything like that. So I had to sit there and go, okay, well, I got to be more aggressive. I got to be more this. I got to be more that. And it definitely paid off. Even though I was like in high school, like 6'1", 6'2", and 170 pounds, guys. I'm 205 now. If that puts it any perspective, I was a twig, and it sucked sometimes. I played tight end and outside linebacker, so I was constantly having to deal with people that were a lot bigger than me. And so I had to have that overcoming of situations like, if you're having a fullback block you or you got a guard pulling on you. Now granted, like most of the time they're gonna be bigger than you, but I was so undersized that I mean I had to like try to at least pop them or something to like get any momentum. So
Dude,
that
I
was
just
the
want to add
biggest
in
thing.
here so people know, because if they see you now, you've put on a lot of muscle
Yeah.
from where you were in high school. But just
Yeah.
so you guys know, like Brian was taller and on the skinnier side. This man put in work. Like he didn't just step on the field jacked. Like he definitely busted his tail to be good.
Yeah, it definitely helped having, my dad as a coach kind of guide me through a lot. Definitely did not let it easy on me. Not my mom neither. And then I have my younger brother, so we grew up definitely in a sports oriented world, but it definitely helped. It helped like kind of shape the discipline factor of like, okay, I got something I want to do. I have a goal. Do I want to get this or not? At the end of the day, nothing's going to be handed to you and you got a deck of cards that you have to give out and you might not like the deck of cards sometimes. You might be frustrated, pissed off, or whatever. But you got to use that kind of like that piss off type of situation, and you got to mold it into an energy that will actually keep you directed at the goal and keep you motivated, and not just play the victim card.
Absolutely, bro. And so this actually leads into kind of the next part. What was one of the lowest points in your life where you felt stuck or lost, and how did you pull yourself out of it?
Good question. Good question. There's a couple moments. There's a couple moments. I would say probably recently, more recently than anything. Guys, as you'll see from the first podcast, I mean, I moved to Charlotte about a year ago. Big adjustment. I went from like a smaller town to a big city and, on my own and, had a brand new job that, was completely different than what I'm used to. I'm used to the fitness, health world and all that. And I went into like the tile industry. So that was a huge adjustment. And then just figuring out everything in that. And I knew like I had to like I was just mentally fighting it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like for a long time, I had multiple things going on. Just like, okay, I got a story for you guys. Like I got a good one. So this is like one thing that everyone knows. Like
Story time.
it's just like those things that you deal with, and you're like, crap, man. Like So like, okay, I accidentally slept in. I slept in like an hour because I have to be at work at 7. Some reason my phone just the alarm didn't work.
I don't even think you
Go
told me
figure.
this story, so I'm excited.
No, no, no. So I have a parking deck in my apartment, and I was like, "Crap." I mean, I'm only like 2 months into my job, and I'm like, "Oh, man, like, I'm late, dude." Like, but my boss is cool, so he was pretty understanding. It happens. But for me, like, I do not play around. Like, I do not like to be late. And so there's like these pillars, right, that are sitting like right next to my car, and I whipped my car out because I was rushing, and the side mirror got completely smashed, and I put a freaking dent in my car, man.
Gotta be careful.
I know, dude, I know, but like I was so bad, dude. I was so angry. Like I called my poor Bob, and I was like, "You won't believe this," and I'm going off, and just like it was those types of moments where you're like, "Come on, give me a break, man." Like, but I still have that dent. I mean, I got the mirror fixed. The cool thing was I got to figure out how to like put the whole mirror. My dad helped me out. He got me another mirror and stuff like that, and we figured it all out. But it was like one of those like moments where you're dealing with everything else in the world. You're trying to adjust. You're trying to learn this new job. You got all these other things on your mind, and then that freaking crap happens.
But you know what, bro? The beauty of this story is it's the whole reason we have this podcast about still being human. Because, this is a podcast of us sharing all the things we've been through, how we've gotten through them, how there's always been a light at the end of the tunnel. But you're also sharing with people, this is a true story where you woke up late to work and pretty much smashed your mirror. Like this is stuff that we
Yeah.
all do. And it's cool to hear. I did not know the story, so I'm pumped to hear that. It's awesome.
You're pumped. You're pumped.
I
You
mean,
want
I'm not excited about
I'm
your
just playing.
misfortune, but
I'm playing. I'm playing. No, yeah, it was but again, like one of those things that one of those situations you kinda look at it and you go, "All right." And, I'm praying, I'm like, "Okay, God." I'm like, "We gotta lock in. It's gonna be alright. It's just a dent. It could've been way worse. You coulda had a way worse situation. You coulda had, wait, it's just really just realistically just way worse." And, it was fixable. It wasn't the end of the world, but when you're already kinda going through it, I think we all have been through that where you're sitting there and you're like, all right, I'm this, and that, and I'm trying to figure everything out. And then next thing you know, something like that happens, and you're just like, but hey, I made it through.
so I guess I asked you two things that were more of like more serious questions. So let's go off this one.
Mhm.
What is something like where along the lines in football did you find your passion for the life that you're living now? Like where in sports did you get that passion that has kind of got you into doing more videography and all the kinds of things that you're doing right now? Like where have you picked up that passion?
Yeah, that's a great question. Great question. Well, this actually might have been, now thinking about it, probably one of the lowest points of my life. Kind of just a little story. I played football from 5 years old to like 18. That's all I knew. And so on my dad's birthday, we were playing Fork Union, and I was blocking down as a tight end, and I was blocking down, and I got hit, and I was paralyzed for about 3 minutes. In a stretcher, everything, had to go to UVA, blah, blah, blah. I thought, okay, it was a stinger. It was kind of like something that wasn't too drastic. It was just this freak accident. Then we went up maybe like a week or two. Me and my dad went up to UVA, just kind of examined everything with x-rays. And they basically said that my cerebral fluid in my spine, just like genetically, is more narrow than the average person. I don't know the exact term of it, but I can't play football anymore. And so that was a pretty devastating moment because, me and my dad have shared like football all our lives, and like I knew nothing else. And really, when you get something that's so important to you taken away, it changes you like dramatically. I really really was, I was crying, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was crying, he was crying, like we were, and he felt for me. And it's like he was watching me grow up and play. And I had potential to play in, college ball, um and so that was a very pinnacle moment. I think that was definitely the darkest time, but, I had something recent, but that was it. But,
Yeah.
yeah, so, like, why I'm telling you all that, it reshaped, like, kinda everything. So, as I was saying before, I was 175 pounds, 170 pounds, something like that. I was soaking wet. I knew, actually, this guy over here was one of the motivators because he was in the gym working his tail off, and
Thanks, bro.
I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna get jacked." I got not like, I had wrestling, and I finished that out, but, I sat there and I was like, "I'm going to work out." Like, I had a early release in senior year, so I would go and work out at, the gym 4 or 5 times a week, and my goal was just lift and just get big as much as I could. And I had that discipline through football, so it wasn't easy, but it was something of routine. Like, I had to fill that void, right? I wasn't trained football or anything, so I just trained that exercise, I guess. But I just switched around with it, and then in college, I went through it all, ended up starting a athletic brand for a while, and still got that going, and we figuring all that, and that kind of got me motivated to pick up the camera because I was sitting there, I was like, "Well, I wanna do all this, but it costs a lot of money, like, to get videographers and everything." And when I was doing that, we had a camera, so we kinda started picking it up, and I was like, "Ooh, I kinda like this. I don't know. I think I kinda like this." So, I really enjoyed it, and so, like, I was sitting there doing all that, and I started like, "Okay, like, I actually can really do this." And I was, figuring out all different type of systems, and I ended up, actually, I got it right here, guys. got this little A7 IV, you know?
Let's go.
I got this in December. Was not cheap at all, but I sat there and I said, "Okay, if I'm gonna really do this, I'm gonna put an investment in it." And it definitely was helpful. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and it just reshaped. It's kinda weird 'cause it I didn't think I was gonna be that, but I always love, like, the creativity when I see videos and visual stuff and anything online, like, it always kinda intrigued me, and, I kinda had a knack for it, and I'm still learning to this day, but I really enjoy it.
I think something else you should kind of share with everyone too, because I know you're very humble, so I know you won't say this on your own. But guys, Brian works a lot, like with his job as is. Like he's up early. I mean, you're working 40, 45-hour weeks sometimes, and share with everyone how you're still not making excuses and what your schedule looks like of how you're still continuing to learn all the skills you're learning with videography and editing, but also we're doing this on top of all that. Just share a little bit about your life so people understand what hard work really means.
Sure, yeah. This is how so I do, like, a customer rep, like, at Tile, right? What I do is I'm constantly moving all the time, having to do a lot of multitasking things. I'm lifting tile sometimes, so I work 7 to 4. So by the time I get off work, I was dead, like mentally dead. All right. I could work out, but that was kind of like it. So I kind of figured I was like, okay, well, I have to figure it out. So I get up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, get myself ready to go. And then from anywhere from 5:15 to like 6:20, 6:25, I'm working. I take about an hour because it's like to me, like my brain's the most operational. So I just said, okay, well, if I really want something and I really want to learn and I really want to figure everything out and keep striving to be that 1%, I'm gonna act like the 1%. And don't tell me wrong, it sucks sometimes, especially if I don't get enough sleep like I should have, but the discipline of it, it's so rewarding because I know no one else is doing it. Not saying that there are people, but not everybody's doing it. So I took it in my own hands of like, if I really want something in this world, and I really want to strive to succeed, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna do things that most people won't do.
Yeah, and dude, you've been fired up. I mean, there's sometimes like I always think that I get up early and I'm motivated, but there are literally some times that I'll look at the story and you've been working on edits, for the pod, and I'm like, dang, like he woke up 30 minutes to an hour before I did. Like, what the heck am I doing? Like, and it's just that fires me up, dude. So
Yeah,
I've been pumped to see you doing that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, a little caffeine helps it. A little
Don't matter,
caffeine.
you still get out the bed, man.
Yeah. It's not the healthiest thing in the world. I'm trying to work on that, but, yeah, like, again, it just matters of how bad do you want something? Do you really want it or do you kinda want it? I mean, so a lot of people talk about it, but at the end of the day, are you willing to sacrifice a lot for something that is really an unknown factor? I don't know exactly how it's all gonna go down. We don't know about this, right? That's the fun part. That's the exciting part about it, is that you can look at yourself in the mirror, and when that day does come, and you can look back, sit back, and go, "Okay, it was worth it."
Absolutely, bro. All right, let's see. We definitely got another question. I have so many on here. I gotta, make
I
sure I
love
keep them in the right
it,
order.
love it.
Let's see here. A lot of people struggle with identity when things don't go as planned. Was there ever a time you questioned who you were or what you were supposed to do? And I think this kind of ties in with where you were talking about football, but it might just take it a little further.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, football, yeah, that was a big moment because when you're playing sports all your life, I mean, if you're doing anything, guys, like if you're sitting there and you're dedicated to something, you've done it for mostly all your life, and then you're sitting there and you're like, and it just gets zapped. Like there's no like, oh, okay, like maybe I can do it or whatever. No, like you literally cannot do it. Your genetics, unfortunately, are not allowing you. And that's just like a big pivotal moment where it's like you gonna get lost. I think as men, especially, I mean women too, but like especially men, I think if we don't have a sense of direction or a sense of like identity with ourselves, we kind of get lost and we get depressed and we don't know what we're exactly gonna do with life and all that. And yeah, like at the end of the day, you kind of have to hold on because those moments don't last forever. You will figure it out if you let yourself. If you allow yourself to play victim and drink yourself to death or whatever, boo-hooing with your life. I mean, you're not going to get anywhere. I mean, it's not. Life is life. You cannot like stop anything. Like it's gonna happen. Like even to this day, like life is still gonna you know get us sometimes. So I think that if you just kind of hold on let that pain, let that dealing what you are, go through. It's an emotion, right? We have our emotional. That's what starts first, right? And then we go our frontal lobe, and we become more logical. If you like, for example, if you get pissed off about something and you're mad, 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 and you want to, whatever, and then you kind of let it go, let time go on, and then you kind of become logical, and you're sitting there, and you're like, oh, okay, not that bad. All right, all right.
Kind of like when you first hit that mirror.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Took a second to cool off of that one.
Ooh, that one took like a good 2 hours. Like, I mean, I was still kinda heated all day, but I would like the pinnacle of it was about 2 hours. Yeah, I think that you gotta allow that, like, you have to be okay with it. Like, you have to accept that that's gonna happen because it's never gonna stop. You just gotta be adaptable to it, and you gotta be able to, keep pressing forward. Life is not gonna stop for you. You're just gonna become stronger with it.
Yeah. So, and going off that question, for anyone that doesn't know you that's listening to this, your original goal was to take football as far as you could, but then you had that injury. And so, you had to kind of reshape your identity. Where would you say that you've reshaped that identity to your new goals, if you want to share that with everyone?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, so where you were going to go far with football,
Mhm.
if I was listening to this and I was sitting there and something just happened to me that was life altering,
Mhm.
and I couldn't now hit the goal that I had, and I had to change course. I was thinking maybe you share with everyone how your course has changed into what your new goals are.
Okay, so I would say personally, I didn't know. So for a little while, I was kind of up in the air, but I did stuff that I was able to control. I can control my body, control how my mind thought. So for really basically from college to now, I am constantly working on how can I better myself personally in all different aspects, spiritually, mentally, physically. If I can get those down, then opportunities are going to come, and then certain situations are going to kind of lead me in a certain direction, and then I'll figure it out from there. So lots of reading, figuring that out, just getting my body in shape, getting that discipline in. And when people see that, people will respect that. And when you kind of go through all that, you're gonna have opportunities that come forward to you, and things pop up in your head. I mean, there was a lot of things where I was just like on the treadmill or lifting, and I'm like, oh, I could do that. Okay, and then like you just kind of figure it out. But if you establish first thing is yourself, because as you grow into yourself, you're not just only helping you're helping everybody around you. You're becoming a positive influence, and people can respect you more. And then when you become more respected to yourself, people are going to respect you, and they're going to give you opportunities.
I think another thing that's cool too, just because I don't want to leave this out, but just watching you as a friend and seeing some people in your shoes would have almost looked at sports negatively because they're not able to play them anymore.
Mhm.
And I think probably the coolest thing that I've seen you do is the passion you have to still go help young athletes, whether that be filming edits and making them look awesome or, going out and talking with them, giving them advice. Like I've loved how you've still stayed so positive in the space of sports to still help give back to everyone else that's still going through those moments right now.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it is helpful that I get to see him. So my brother, he is a freakishly athletic guy, man. I will give him credit. He's more athletic than me. And what was so cool to watch him was he grinded in a lot of ways and kind of fulfilled that. He was able to be a walk on at Liberty and earn himself a scholarship by Hugh Freeze. I mean, that is commendable. Like I have the utmost respect for that because I watched him put in that work. And to sit there and get to watch his games, I got to go to the Fiesta Bowl and watch my brother play Oregon. It's one of those things where it wasn't, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. For the first like 2 years, it was tough to watch sports and stuff like that. I still like was supporting my brother, would watch my dad's games and stuff like that. But yeah, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. But then when that kind of overcame and all that, I was so excited just to watch, my family do those things and be supportive as much as I can. It was an extremely grateful moment because I know they got to do that, and it feels good as a brother. Like it's not a selfish feeling like a jealousy or anything like that. Like I knew like, hey, I have my purpose and that's okay. I'm gonna figure it out, but they get to do that, and it's like it's so close to you. So it's like you sit there and you're like, wow, like this is amazing. It is really beautiful. I have to give both of them a shout. My dad is a great coach. He kills it over at LCA, and My brother, he played for a long time. He got to experience so many things, and I got to share that with him, and it's just a beautiful thing.
I love it, man. My favorite thing about it though is it really does just show people, so many people in life, they get so bitter, when they see someone else do something that they wanted to do. And one of the coolest parts about you've never been that person. I have
It's no
never,
point. There's no point.
never seen you do that.
There's no point. You're gonna sit there and, like, you can't do anything about it, and if I'm gonna sit here and go, "Whoa, oh, man, oh, man," what am I gonna get out of it? I mean, it's okay to feel that way. It's okay. You can understand. Like, you can't, like, sit there and, like, "Oh, man, like, I can't feel this way." No, you can feel that way. It's okay, but your actions are different. You can harness that for a little bit, but you can't allow it to take over yourself. Once you allow it to take over yourself, you're screwed. So there's no way about it. You're screwed.
Definitely. All right. So, my next question, you and I have lived a lot of this side by side. What do you hope people listening take away from your story, from everything we've seen you push through?
Just be in the grind. Do not stop. It's gonna feel like times where you're sitting there and you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this and that? And it happens. We're all, again, the whole premise of this podcast is you're still human. You're gonna feel those. You're not a robot. And don't act like that. You act at the end of the day, you are still human. You're allowed to feel those ways, but perseverance is going to take you so much more. A quick little thing, like kind of a big moment I had. I don't like doing too much, but it really emphasizes what I'm trying to say here. With that, being paralyzed and all that, that sucked. But I had a great football career. Like when it comes to like I have 3 state rings. So really like the last our 3rd state championship, we were playing collegiate, and we were on a go route. We were down, but it was like 3rd and like 12. We needed a big play, and I ran that 38 free go, and I was running, and to be honest, I didn't think anything of it. It was a high ball. I had to go up and grab it, and it was like a huge pivotal moment in the game, and I won't say too much because it's just I don't want to be sounding like I'm bragging or nothing, but it was just the point of it is that moment, that game was my best game of my life, and that particular time, I was like, everything I did, everything, the hard work I put in, it paid off. In that moment, it's priceless. I can never get that taken away from me, and I can say I am proud of that.
Dude, and I don't think anyone would take that the wrong way because, even watching it, you put in, there was so much work leading up to that moment, so many emotions of just all the stuff that you would put into to have, like, you deserve that moment because you worked so freaking hard to have that moment. And it was exciting to see it, dude. It was sick.
I appreciate it, man. I just, you get cognitive of that. So I just want to kind of put that emphasis on like when you have those times when you're mentally going through it, like why this, why that, and then you have that experience that is priceless. Nothing, you can't buy that. You can't do nothing with it. But the fact that you earned it in a sense where you didn't even know it was coming, and that those priceless moments, like I would encourage everybody to keep grinding for those moments. And you don't know when it's going to happen, and that's the hardest part. The fear of unknown is the biggest thing about it. Is that you don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know what life's going to be. We don't know, right? We're doing this pod, and we don't know. We
We don't
don't.
know. We
I don't
don't
know,
know.
but that's okay. That's okay. That's all right, and it is exciting. You should look forward to those battles. And so, with that being said, like that moment, I took in the rest of my life, and I go, if I can sit there and earn that, I can do anything and put and sit down and do the things that I hate or whatever, but to achieve the goal and not knowing when the goal is, but when it was so fulfilling, it was worth it.
Absolutely, bro. Let's see. Last thing, this will be my last question. This podcast is about staying human through it all. What does that mean to you after everything that you've been through?
Oh yeah, kind of like what I've been saying. Really, just going through the pain and allowing yourself to still understand yourself. I think being self-aware is really key. Allowing yourself to kind of not, if you go, like for instance, if you get kind of hot about certain things, you're like, okay, well, all right, I get high. I'm going to avoid that. I'm being very self-aware of yourself and allowing yourself going, yeah, I do struggle with that. That's okay. That's fine. You can struggle with it. but being aware of it and understanding that you gotta put yourself in situations that might not allow yourself to trip up or anything like that is a big factor, and to just keep going because it will be worth it.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, I think that's all the questions I got,
You
man.
got
Is
yeah.
there anything else you want everyone to know about you or anything that we
Man,
left out?
dude, honestly, no doubt those were great questions. They were great.
Thank you, bro. I
Yeah.
tried my best to have questions that weren't all about because I mean, we could probably do a whole pod on just like fun times and like goofy moments together, but this was about
Yeah.
sharing your story and I wanted to make sure I asked things that would really drag out the deep questions and the answers we need.
Yeah, I mean, really, like, it's been a crazy ride. It has been, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it, and to keep going is always worth it. I encourage everybody, listening to this or just life in general to never stop because it's gonna pay off. You don't know when and you don't know how, but you will figure it out and life will reward you for it.
Love it, bro. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
All right, guys. Well, round 3. Now, guys. Now we gotta hit this guy. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have some good questions. No, guys, seriously, like just a little bit of a trailer on him. Dude, Hunt's just been through a lot too. I mean, he's got multiple stories of situations that he had to overcome himself. So it is a really big treat. If you enjoy this podcast, you're really gonna enjoy that one too. I'm gonna do my best to give you the best questions I can. But at the end of the day, I know you're gonna freaking kill it, and your story definitely needs to come out, man. I'm really excited
Thank
for
you,
that.
bro. Thank you, man. I hope through all of this that we can just inspire people and show them what it means to be human. But I do promise everyone for the one that you are gonna hear next, our third one, there will be nothing held back. I'm gonna give you all the real, authentic story of everything that's gone on, and I really, really hope someone out there that's going through it listens to this podcast. I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Round 2. All right.
See you, Dizzle.
I see you.